Now, it is said that after you send the money to Lucy, you slept, isn't it? And that's what you said at the county assembly, isn't it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Now, I want us to confirm if this is what is stated in the answer. On that evening, I had to pay a debt of the transport I had used to ferry some building materials to my home to one Gladys Aminga, who does transport business. So I was due to give her Kenya shillings 100,000. As I did this, I erroneously picked the wrong number and sent 100,000, then slept without knowing the recipient is a different person. Mr. Speaker, sir, the next morning before I took my breakfast, I received a call from Lucy informing me that I had sent 100,000. You can see that?
I can see that.
Now, does that statement say you slept immediately or that you generally slept that night?
I generally slept without noticing that error.
So your point is that at a certain point in that night you slept, but not necessarily immediately after sending the money?
That's the position, Madam Speaker.
And your statement then to the county assembly captured in that Hansard is not in any way inconsistent with the contention that you sent some money 2 hours after you had sent to Lucy?
That is true.
It's
Madam
not
Speaker.
inconsistent?
Yes.
Okay. Lastly, just for emphasis, or rather 2 questions. Had Mr. Joseph Misati visited you with his boys previously?
Yes, some of his boys, not all of them.
Not, but from time to time he has visited you with his boys?
That is true.
And so this visit, was it unusual in any way?
It was not unusual, Madam Speaker.
Both in terms of him visiting you and coming with his boys?
Yes.
Okay. Did you at any point pressurize Lucy that you needed a job for your friend's son?
No, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I would like to leave my re-examination there.
No. That's okay. Is that all for this witness? We'll now proceed on, councils, senators, to raise their interventions or clarifications that members may have. The board is full with over 15 senators who are interested in asking for clarifications. I want to propose that we take 4 on this side and 4 on the other side. So let's begin with Joe Nyoto. Senator Joe Nyoto.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I just want to seek very short clarifications from the witness. And the first one is from the evidence of Joseph Misati, the friend. Misati went to the DG's home accompanied by his sons for that meeting where they had a separate meeting between him and Joseph Misati with the sons at a distance. The clarification I'm seeking is, why would grown men, the sons, accompany the father to a meeting with a friend to discuss matters that did not relate to the employment of Dennis Misati? That is one. Number 2, when the witness sent 100,000 Kenya shillings to the MD of WASO, or WASCO, and he says in his statement that this was sent erroneously. It was supposed to be sent to another lady who is a CEO within Kisii County government. It took 2 days. Would the witness clarify? Because the usual, everyone sending money through M-Pesa is once you send an amount of money, then you will receive a message from M-Pesa detailing whom you have sent it to. Is the witness truthful when he alleges that he did not discover immediately that he had sent the money to the wrong person? And even if he did, he alleges that he did not have the technical know-how to reverse the transaction. But ideally, Madam Speaker, one would call the person to whom you have sent the money erroneously and request them, especially because this is somebody that is well known to you, request them to send the money back to you, which did not happen until the following day when the MD called the witness herself.
Thank you, Senator Newton. Allow the witness to respond.
Madam Speaker, Mr. Misati Joseph came with his 4 sons, and at my age and his age, we thought, and it's normally the practice, that we leave the children aside and do business of your own. I did not have any special reason to accommodate the children in the discussions we held with Mr. Misati. When, question 2, when I sent money erroneously to Lucy, the MD Wasco, I've already indicated that I slept without noticing the error. The next morning, Lucy called me and told me about this money. I asked her to send back the money, but she told me she was already at the airport trying to fly out to Nairobi from Kisumu. And Madam Speaker, she asked me to reverse, which I've already indicated I didn't have that technology of reversing the money as that's been indicated. Madam Speaker, when she reached Nairobi, I talked to her, and she told me she was entering a crucial meeting she will transact later. On the issue of reversing the money, Madam Speaker, I came to learn when I received these statements in this impeachment that it was that Lucy, having received the 100,000 from me, immediately after spent 5,000, and therefore it did not remain, and I will refer the honorable senators to that page where Lucy has received the 100,000, and immediately after has drawn or paid out 5,000, reducing the money from the 100,000. I'm guided that if I tried, even if I would have tried, I'm guided by those who know that with less money than what I would have tried to reverse, the reversal would have not been possible. That's my response, Madam Speaker.
Senator Enoch Wambua.
Madam Speaker, allow me to engage the witness. Very briefly, within 2 minutes, I'm done. His Excellency DG, what is the official title of one Lucy Waito?
Official title is CEO.
CEO.
That's what I know. Some people exchange it with MD.
What is the official title? She has a letter of appointment. What is she? Is she an MD? Is she a CEO?
No, that one CEO? I cannot take a position on which title she holds.
You can't. So, but you have saved her as what? Chief officer?
I've saved her as CEO.
Chief officer.
Yes.
And you're saying you made a mistake between Lucy and Gladys Amiga.
Yes.
What is the connection in the typing for either Lucy or Guasco, whatever it is, and Gladys and Amigo? Because you have to type for the name to pop up. what is the connection in the keyboard of your phone, because they are all the same? What is the alphabetical ordering of either of those names?
When you look at what we have attached there, Lucy and Gladys are next to each other.
Yeah, but you have to type. You have to type the name for the name to pop up.
I've indicated, Madam Speaker, earlier that I have tried to save staff of the county under an easier way of accessing them, and that's why I have the CEO, my own way of easily accessing the officers of the county.
Madam Speaker, I need your protection because I think from Kisii County, there are very many different ways of doing things. Now, this one has a different way of typing names on the keyboard, which is standard. It's a standard keyboard. When you type GWA, what's the connection between GWA and GLA? There can never be any connection.
I've indicated, Madam Speaker, that the way of CEO would bring all the officers.
I will
then
rest my
the
case
rest
there.
of the names will follow.
The next
to make
question,
it easier for
Madam
me.
Speaker, so that we save on time.
That should be
The last question, yes. The last question. You erroneously, as you say, sent money to Lucy, and you don't realize that you have sent money until the following morning, which is questionable. But that morning, you are called by Lucy and she says, what did you send this money to me for? So at least you know now there is 100,000 shillings that you send to Lucy, which is your money.
True.
But you go to the bank and withdraw 130,000 shillings to send to some other people, and yet you have your money that is already with Lucy, which you can access and use for the same purposes. Why was it easier for you? You are saying you're not tech savvy, but you're able to withdraw money from the bank. You're not able to reverse money that you have sent. Are you being selective in your tech savviness?
Madam Speaker, I'm not being selective. If you read my statement correctly, the money I sent to Lucy was in my M-Pesa, and the money I sent that morning, Lucy told me I have sent her money, was still in the same M-Pesa. So I didn't go to the bank to draw any other money. I had some money.
The money is not in your M-Pesa now, it is in Lucy's phone. It's not in your M-Pesa anymore. You have sent already.
I had more money in my account that could be enough to send another 100,000. I didn't send 130,000 to Gladys. It's 100,000 to Gladys after I discovered Lucy had taken 100 that she had not refunded or returned.
Madam Speaker, I'm okay.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Gloria Ruoba. In under 1 minute. And senators, if we could reduce our questions to only 2, it will help because there are very many senators who are interested in clarifying.
Thank you, Speaker. I only have 2 questions. Speaker, on the first one, when Joseph Misati was here and he was questioned on his relationship with you on a business level, he said at one point that you had an M-Pesa shop. I just wanted you to clarify, have you at any one point had an M-Pesa shop? And if so, would that then conflict that you do not know how to operate M-Pesa, particularly reversals? Then my second question is that on the assembly bundle, page 283 and 287, it is stated that the deputy governor was buying land at 500K per acre, which was negotiated down to 200K per acre to help the children. But in the sales agreement, it is written that you are to pay 2.8 million by the end of October, which you clarified that you are not able to pay. And then the question is, after that, you actually paid 500,000 to Joseph. So the question is, where did you get the money? Because those two are conflicting. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker.
quick,
Madam
short
Speaker,
answers. I
Madam
want to guide,
Speaker,
can
sorry?
I guide the witness? If you could give short, quick answers, it will help us to move faster. Don't give long narration.
Madam Speaker, I've never owned an M-Pesa business. What Mr. Misati Joseph averred to in his witness was his own M-Pesa business and not mine. Number two, the Honorable Senator has referred to a case that I've also seen in this House yesterday about an elder from Magenja Ward who was selling land that he had owned in Transmara, Naroko County. And Madam Speaker, she came to me and asked me if I can buy. When I attempted to follow up the documents, I realized this same land had a lot of encumbrances. There were people on that land. I don't know whether I call them squatters or what. And he wanted me to go and use an auctioneer to remove those people and buy that land. At that point, I said, I can't buy a case. If I'm buying land, it's land, and not issues, fighting with people. And at that point, I said, we cancel this deal, Madam Speaker. That's where the story of land rests.
Senator Agnes Kavindu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mine is a follow-up question on the M-Pesa to Lucy. Madam Speaker, when he was giving his evidence, he said that he did not know how to reverse the money, and he was looking for somebody to reverse the money for him. And I'm wondering if he looked for someone for 2-3 days, and he could not get anyone who could reverse that money, even after Lucy had told him that the money was there, and after he had confirmed. Madam Speaker, this one raises a lot of questions. And number two, he talked of not knowing his best friend's children. And yet when his friend was giving evidence, he said that there is even a time he called him to go and fundraise for the children's school fees. Madam Speaker, I don't understand how I can be called by my best friend to go and fundraise for his son or his daughter, and I cannot be familiar with the same daughter. Thank you, Mrs.